You know, one of the things that's interesting, somebody once asked me, what's the difference between business and politics? And thank you for asking that question, by the way. What's the difference between business and politics? And here's the difference. Politics is a fact-free zone. People just say things. People just say things. The thing is, business is not a fact-free zone. In fact, business is a fact-filled zone. So as chief executive of Hewlett-Packard, I had to stand every 90 days and defend our results in excruciating detail. And if I misrepresented those results in any way, I could be held criminally liable. Now, just suppose for a moment that anyone else running for president was held criminally liable for what they said. So, here's some facts about my record. I was recruited. I wasn't looking for a job. I was recruited by the board of Hewlett-Packard because that company was falling behind. They had no strategy. They had a culture that had become stultified, a vast, hulking bureaucracy. They were falling behind in every product and every market. And in technology, if you are lagging, you are losing. And so they needed transformation. I also happened to coincide, my 6-year tenure at Hewlett-Packard happened to coincide with the worst technology recession in 25 years. The NASDAQ dropped 80%. It's taken 15 years for it to recover, and many of our strongest competitors literally disappeared, taking every job with them because they did not make the tough calls necessary to survive. And yet, despite those tough times, we took a company that was lagging behind and turned it into a leader in every product and every market category. We not only doubled the size of the company, we quadrupled its top-line growth rate, which is hard to do in a recession. We quadrupled its cash flow. We tripled its rate of innovation to almost 15 patents a day. We saved 80,000 jobs. We went on to grow to 150,000 jobs. Ladies and gentlemen, I will run on that track record all day long. And by the way, I think the citizens of this great nation actually are looking for someone to go into the White House and make a tough call occasionally, actually make a decision, actually cut a bureaucracy down to size. At the end of my 6-year tenure, I got fired in a boardroom brawl that lasted for 2 weeks. And you know why? Because when you lead, when you challenge the status quo, you make enemies. It is why people don't lead. It's hard. I made some enemies. And I got fired over a matter of principle that I didn't think board members should take their disputes with me into the press. But interestingly, a couple weeks ago, the man who led my ouster, a gentleman named Tom Perkins, took out an op-ed in the New York Times, paid for a full-page ad, I didn't know he was going to do it, and said, I was wrong, she was right, she was a great CEO, the board was dysfunctional, she's going to make a magnificent president of the United States, and I'll back her all the way.